Big win, Don Wilson here for Top MMA News. Here with Charmaine, not so sweet tweet. And I got to say, last outing over Amanda Bell, great victory. Why don't you talk a little bit about that last fight?
Yeah, it was a great fight. I was really happy with the way things turned out. It's kind of weird because my coach always, like my recent coach, the last two fights, he sat me down before and said, okay, this is how I see this going. And both of the ways is exactly how it goes. He's like, you know what, I'm not concerned if she puts you on your back, not at all. I think you can still win it from your back. And honestly, I think with the strikes that I was throwing from my back, even if it had stayed there, depending on what the judges were like, I probably could have won it just from my back. But I mean, I got that awesome sweep, and it was all downhill for her from there.
Definitely.
So
Great win. And I got to say, prior to that, we had, at least on Twitter, I was reading a lot about a little debacle with the SFL. And, not a lot of coverage, at least in my opinion, on it. Do you want to let us know what really happened there? Here, there was a little problem with the payment.
Yeah, there was a bit of a problem with the payment. They told us 10 days I could expect a wire. So I figured, okay, well, by the time I get home from India, because we did a little sightseeing afterwards, my purse should be there. And I work at the credit union, so I work where I bank, so I gave them the correct information for the wire. I didn't think there would be a problem with that, and I mean, 20 days, we're getting to nothing, no payment, and then 3 days before Christmas, there's still no payment, and it's getting a little tight because I kind of planned on that money for Christmas, and nothing. So we finally, after many emails to Raj, the owner, and just the people who worked in the payment department, we got no response, or, oh, the wire was sent, we'll send you a confirmation, and no wire confirmation. So finally we just said, you know what, it's time to go public with this. And as soon as we did, I mean, it hit the fan. And
so that's what it took to get the money, was to take it public.
Yeah, basically. And I mean, I woke up the next morning after we went public to me being released from my contract with the SFL via Twitter. And then people are asking me, like, would you go back and fight for them again? I was like, well, no, they released me on Twitter. That's like being dumped by a Post-it note. No.
Now, like, were you obviously not getting paid? That had to piss you off. But were you a little bit more pissed on how they dealt with the situation over Twitter, claiming that you were paid, that you weren't telling the truth? Like, they weren't necessarily nice about it.
No, they definitely weren't. Yeah, that really ticked me off. It was like, come on, if there was a mix-up with the wire information, which there was, they didn't put the right stuff in the right boxes, and that's essentially what it was. They just took them a while to get it right. Just say that, and send me the wire confirmation.
Yeah, we screwed up. Sorry, we'll fix it.
Yeah, and it wouldn't have been a problem. Like, oh, we're sorry. Especially, we're sorry because we did nothing wrong. Yeah. So don't make it look like I did something wrong by taking this public.
Now, would you give a warning to other Canadian fighters out there to watch what you do when you sign with these guys?
You know what? I actually have. The girl I just fought, Cy Jewett, a couple months back, was asking me about them, and I said, you know what? Well, no, I didn't exactly say that. I said, take it for what it's worth. It's an experience for you. Use it to travel, go see the world, go see the country, but realize that things might not go smoothly.
Well, definitely, we'll put the warning on here as well, fighters. Make sure you make the wise decisions when it comes to who you're going to fight for. Now, what's up next? Rumor has it that you might be signed to Invicta. Can we confirm that or deny it?
There's been no contract signed yet, but there has been talks. Something could possibly happen this month if something bad happens this month to somebody. I'm basically on the call list for if there's an injury for the 145ers.
If something happens.
Yeah, and then we're talking probably the September, October card, wherever they decide to have this show there. But like I said, nothing's been signed yet, so not going to jinx that.
Now
it's possibly happening.
It's possible.
Yeah.
Now, 145 pounds. How is it now with everyone? Obviously, with the UFC bringing in 135, everyone's dropping down or coming up. How is it trying to find fights at 145 pounds?
It's not that bad. Like it's still. I had Tamika Brents begging me to fight, and I don't know. I kind of think that one is more of an Invicta type card. So we had turned that one down, and Amanda ended up taking the fight. And there's still quite a few girls in that division. So. And definitely more than there were in my weight classes when I first started fighting 11 years ago. Like, there's just so many more girls. So I'm getting more fights than I ever have, even with all the girls dropping to 140. 135.
135. Now, let's talk about that. You had a rough start to the start of your career, but I believe now in the last 4, you're 3-1. What has been the transformation for Not So Sweet Tweet?
I think it's coming up with those losses right off the bat. I mean, I came off a really strong Thai boxing career. I won 2 world championships back to back. I'd only lost one fight, drew one. So, you know, I was like, oh, you know, I'm pretty good. Like, and then, I mean, I lost to Ronda right away, which, you know, it taught me, you know, you got to work on your ground game.
New fighter
right?
coming in, ground game, that's going to happen.
Well,
right?
yeah, and it was a lot of nerves in that one. Like, I was never really nervous before except for that fight, because with the whole Strikeforce debacle and me not letting her out of the contract to fight on Strikeforce, I knew that if she got my arm, she was ripping it off. So I knew she was mad at me and that it wasn't going to, you know, she wasn't going to not take it easy on me, but she wasn't going to show mercy, let's put it that way. So, you know, I was nervous going into that one, and it went the way it did. And then when I fought Anna Barone and I got KO'd right off the bat, I was like, okay, this one teaches you that if your gloves are too small, let someone know, because I ended up breaking my hand when I hit her in the face. I broke my right off the bat. Thank goodness I had the concussion, because I don't remember them cutting off the glove. Apparently I was screaming.
Yeah, that would have been bad.
And yeah, you know, it just taught me my tie stance. Yeah, I got to tighten that up a little bit. So every loss I had, I learned something from, which is what the transition's been. It's like, okay, these losses are taking me down the road I need to get where I want to be, which is Strikeforce champion.
Well,
not Strikeforce, pardon me, Invicta champion. It was at that time Strikeforce champion, but now it's Invicta,
And you never know, 145 has to be the next weight class opened up in the UFC, so potentially we could see you there as well. Now, before we let you go, family, friends, sponsors you want to give a shout out to?
Oh, goodness. Dedicated Few right here, big sponsor of mine. They also have the MMA cauliflower ears. Canada Whey protein, that I have a major sweet tooth, and that keeps that in check. It's amazing. Their cake batter, oh my goodness, great. Leslie Consulting, oh gosh, Build 360. I have so many sponsors. I'm sorry if I don't get you all. And family and friends. I mean, I got to thank my family who've always stood behind me, especially my kids. I mean, they deal with me when I do my weight cuts. My husband, Cord Crothers, who's also my manager. And, you know, you got to thank all the fans, because without the fans, we are not able to do what we want to do.
Now, speaking of fans, can you give a little shout out on your Twitter there? What's your Twitter handle?
My Twitter is @NotSoSweetMMA.
That's right, fans. You got to follow it there. Some great stuff on Twitter. Once again, fans, big win, Don Wilson. Charmaine, not so sweet. Tweet top MMA news.